First of all, Surat is a business hub.
Okay.
And two major business, one is textile business and another is diamond business. And Surat is one of the fastest growing city of Asia. Because of these flyovers and all, we lost the originality and identity of that particular space and particular location. The original Surtis are in minority now.
Okay.
And all the people who are migrated from other cities, other states, they are in more numbers.
Okay.
So, but of course, there is no other issues, but still, the original Surtis are like Lehri Lala.
Mojila.
So, Mojila.
Somebody
So,
was telling
yeah.
me in the morning.
So,
Hi, I'm Ruby Jagrut and welcome to yet another Samvad at Jaquar World. We are going to talk to Vaishali and Vijay Chauhan, practicing architects from Surat from last 25 years. They are partners in life, in practice, and probably in crime. Let's talk to Vaishali and Vijay. Welcome to Abir Pothi and welcome to Samvad. So I'm very excited to have you here, both of you, and very curious to know how the whole thing started, especially your journey, how you people met, and how the whole thing has, taken 25 gorgeous years of practicing together. So, Vijay, you can start with your take on it.
Rubiji, this 25 years is just our professional practice. When we
Okay.
started our own office.
Okay.
But in fact, the journey was started before 33 years.
Okay. Wow.
Like I have done my graduation from MS University, Baroda in 1988. And we know each other since 1988. So it's almost more than 35 years now.
Oh, okay.
And after the graduation, we decided to, we were very good friends in fact, and we have decided to go ahead with further, making further crime and doing our professional practice too.
Together.
So that time I was basically from Baroda and she is from Surat. And after our graduation, we decided I'll work in Baroda and Vaishali will work in Surat, at least for minimum 2 years. And I worked in Baroda with Mr. P.S. Rajan and Panna Rajan. He's very well known
Yeah, of course,
architect.
senior architects.
Yeah,
yes.
very senior architects. And Vaishali worked with Mr. Parikshit Talati here. He is also very senior architect. And after 2 years, we decided to get married. And in 95, we got married.
Okay.
And then in Baroda, we thought, because we have started our career from scratch, right? No one in our family was an architect. So we thought that, in fact, she is from Surat, and Baroda is little bit comparatively slow.
Laid
city.
back, yeah, it's laid
mainly
back.
job-oriented
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
we thought it will take a bit long for us to move ahead.
Yes.
So one day, Parikshit sir asked that, why don't you come to Surat? Surat is a better city for you
Yes.
to grow. And then we talked to our parents. In fact, they accepted it very positively. If
Yeah.
your growth is there, then you may shift. You can try for 2 years, and then if you feel comfortable, it's fine. If you don't feel comfortable, then you can come back to Baroda, and that way
You are
we have moved to Surat, and then.
Yes, I would also like to say that I think I was very much inclined to fine arts.
Okay.
And I'd already joined in fine arts college in MSU, Baroda. But it was God's master plan that I had to meet Vijay.
Okay.
So that's how I gave an entrance exam of architecture college and got there was I cracked that exam
Okay.
and got into the architecture. So
Okay.
that's how the journey started, and been best of the friends. And he's a very supportive person.
Okay.
And that's how when we shifted to Surat, also liking Parikshit sir gave us the opportunity to actually teach in the college. That's art and architecture trust that they have, and that started a school of interior designing
Okay.
college over here. And
Okay.
then because I had worked with him, he offered a job, and that's somehow get okay, let's go and try in Surat.
Okay.
And that's how we shifted to Surat.
So that's how the journey started.
Started.
So you have practically grown up together, right? Because you're kids when you are in school or college, and then long 25 years of journey, and we try and sum up and we talk about every challenges, significant events of your life, mostly professionally, and we'll try and peep into the journey. So if I say, before we started the interview, we talk about how that small project you people did, and you were so excited to have that project. So talk to me about that first project you crack as a couple, and what were the feeling like, because it is beautiful to look back and see that, how was it? And I know you said it was a small project, but as a couple, when you're starting off and you landed your first project, how was the feeling? What was the feeling?
Of course, it was a great feeling. I was working with, after Surat, I was working with architect Ashok Desai. He was also very senior architect. And Vaishali was teaching in the college. So she has had some extra time with her. So, and through some contact, some of our plywood suppliers contact, he said કે ભાઈ મારા શાળાનું કંઈ શોપનું ઇન્ટિરિયર કરવાનું છે. And it was a very small job, but that time also, like when we moved to Baroda to Surat, because first reason was to get extra income.
Of course.
So when we got our first project, so it's a great feeling. We are going to do our own project,
And
that
you
was
become professionals, yeah.
Small project. The total budget was 1 lakh rupees. Total fees was around 10,000 rupees. There was some electric shop in Bhaga Talao, but we enjoyed working, and we in that project also we gave our best.
Of course. And because you gave your best, irrespective of the size of the project, you are here where you are, and I'm talking to you. So I think, Vaishali, when you said you were teaching then, and then you land up this first project, and you as a couple did the first project. So, so you were doing the project while you were teaching, and then how long you kept teaching in the School of Interior Designing after that project?
Yes, I actually worked as a permanent faculty for a very few years.
Okay.
Just maybe 2 years. But then eventually I was like a visiting faculty throughout.
Okay.
And because with the then we started getting more projects, and then the shortage of time, I had to leave as a permanent teacher.
Okay.
And we started with our own practice from the home itself, and
Yes.
then it starts like, let's have a proper office then, and that's the struggle again, establishing the office.
Okay. So when you say last 25 years of journey, so I think Surat also is this globalization of Surat, or becoming a big city, has also happened in last 25 years. So Surat and you actually grew together, right? So you're as an architect, you are sensitive towards your environment, you are sensitive towards your culture, you are sensitive towards the roots you were from. So with this change, you have been witness to this change. I felt from airport to my hotel that I am just flying, because there are only bridges there. I don't know how do you manage to survive this city, because if you say ki go and find this place, I don't think I'll be able to find this place. So Surat has changed drastically, and somebody was telling me Surat is a city of flyovers. So in this process of change, you think, because you are from Surat, you think anything has been lost which was purely of Surat, or the loss is for betterment? It is okay. It is being progressive, and I'm not against development, but if you think you could have done it differently, or a city could have developed in a different fashion, you have any take on this? Because I find it it's like growing anywhere and everywhere. Surat is like growing in all the fringes of, in all the areas, all the directions. So because you have 25 years of experience, Surat has been growing for the last 25 years. How do you see this change, and how do you see this city of, over bridges? How do you see this development, which is crazy, evidently? How do you see it?
See, Surat is, first of all, Surat is a business hub.
Okay.
And two major business, one is textile business and another is diamond business. A huge scale, it's world level business. And Surat is one of the fastest growing city of Asia. And one of the reason is the Surat Municipal Corporation is very proactive. And because of these businesses, there are lots of people, migration is there in Surat. So the one thing we lost, that because of these flyovers and all, we lost the originality and identity of that particular space and particular location.
Okay.
Previously, if you go Parle Point, then you see, oh, this is Parle Point. But now, because of flyovers, it's the connect is
Gone.
lost.
Okay.
That is the biggest disadvantage. And at the same time, the shops and the showrooms at lower level, they are facing issues with their sales and everything.
Okay.
And another thing is, the original Surtis are in minority now.
Okay.
And all the people who are migrated from other cities, other states, they are in more numbers.
Okay.
So, but of course, there is no other issues, but still, the original Surtis are like Lehri Lala.
Mojila.
So, Mojila.
Somebody
So,
was telling
yeah.
me in the morning.
So, somewhere I feel
The identity is lost.
Yeah, identity is lost.
So you've been teacher and you have been talking to young ones since so many years. When you say that some identity loss has happened, but people who have come into Surat, and they must have also contributed something from their culture to Surat. For sure, it is always there, exchange of cultures happening. So why I ask this question is because this development, it gave a lot of opportunity. Like you, when you were back then young architects, they gave huge opportunities to young architects like you, and you could take advantage of that development. So we can't complain. But of course, it has been haphazard. It has been little crazy around it, and from an outsider point of view, that you don't know where to go. A lot of flyovers, things like that. So I asked you this because when you say you did your first project, which was a small shop, electric shop, and then at the same time this development was happening, and when did you land the project which you felt is significant, where Vijay and Vaishali felt that, oh, we are now there, okay, this project has established us as architects duo. So what was that project?
See, I said I was working with architect Ashok Desai. At that time, he was doing only architecture. He was not doing interior designing. So even after my job, we were working with him as associates.
Okay.
And he was also working for a number of corporate projects, like corporate offices. So the major clients of him also was Grasim Industries, Larsen and Toubro, and so many other companies. So we used to work together as associates for one of the project at Birla Cellulosic Kharach, and that was the bungalow for senior executive vice president, and we me and Vaishali worked for that complete project. And that time it was around 40-45 lakhs of budget, and it was big budget because that time we were working around
so
4 lakhs, 7.
I'm sorry, when you said that time, how many years back?
That is in 98.
98, okay.
98, 99.
Okay.
So, of course, that time 40 lakhs is a big amount. Right? And after that, one more client, Mr. Kothari, Krishak Kothari, he came to us through some reference, and he told me, somebody gave me your reference, and that was also very interesting. He searched in the market and he asked a few people, "Okay, who is very clean, who is transparent, who are like working in very transparent manner and not cheating." In, so somebody gave our name to these two
Young architects.
architects. They are doing good, and he came to us. And that time we were like working for 7-8 lakhs project, and that his project was around 30-35 lakhs residential interior. That was the costliest apartment in Surat.
Okay.
So he was talking to 2-3 architects, and we were one of them. He came to us, and I told him that, Krishak bhai, I cannot show any work in Surat because it is not matching to your scale of the project. So I took him to Kharach. I showed that bungalow which we did for that Grasim. He impressed, and he gave straight away gave his work to us, residential interior. And after that, we never did a smaller project than that, because in same building also we got another 3 projects.
Perfect. So Vaishali, since you have studied together, you both are architects, but you are 2 individuals, right? And you are 2 thinking brains working with same client and one same project. So what is your role? How are you different than Vijay, and how do you see, what is your take on design and architecture, especially your belief system? I'm not talking about your as a team, but you as a woman architect. I'm asking you this. So can you just elaborate on that?
Yes, Ruby. See, I was very clear from the day one that I would do architecture and interior, which is true to nature.
Okay.
Be unique by itself, be more creative, touch to the spaces that we design.
Okay.
And of course, that is the philosophy is the same for both of us. But I'm more inclined towards art also, and that's how we try to experiment things and try to create certain new language for us. So like it's not following some specific style, but we be innovative enough to create different kind of environments, different kind of scenario for the clients.
Okay.
So, and of course, being a lady, I did have other challenges also. I have twins.
Okay.
And bringing up them together, of course, my mother played a big role in bringing up my kids and supporting me, both of us, in a very balanced way so that I could work actually. And again, he is like, with us, he has managed the house and the scenario, and as well as the office. He knew the challenges that I have. So without his support, I wouldn't be able to function also, right?
So she has given credit to you
Yes.
before even I can ask another second question. So I think, your philosophy is a unique and different design and different. So what is your process? If somebody is coming to you with the design, with the proposal, okay, I want to do this project. So what is your process? How will you take it forward? Because people say architecture is mother of all art forms, but it is not art. If as an artist, if I take a canvas and put a red dot, it will become a painting, and I'll say I can justify that painting.
Yes.
Architects cannot do that. They have to think of functionality, they have to think of end user, they have to think of a lot of other things, right? And still they have to give in a part of their self to manifest that, right? Manifest that expression and that design, right? So what is your process? You people sit together, or you are differently thinking, you sit with your client? What is your process? How will you take that project from paper up, from paper to the last product? How will you do that?
Normally, to get the client, or in fact, we don't have to do hard work to get the client, because we do our work with very positive manner. We always worked for our client with full dedication. So in fact, we got the work through references only. We didn't, till date, we don't have to do any kind of marketing.
No, that I understand. Let's say once you get the project.
Yeah. So once we get that project, then we have worked out certain system. Questionnaires are there. Then we make one initial meeting with the client, and we invite him along with his family, or with all the members, those who are involved in that project, and we ask them one by one detailed requirement, and during that process we get to know his thinking, his culture. We even show some projects, our past projects. We even ask them, "Okay, what do you like, what you didn't like." So through our experience, we judge that what is his liking, what is. See, our philosophy is like that. My personal choice may be different, but my client is from different communities, so their cultures are also different. Their society is different, their way of living is different, their social life is different. So we have to make a house for our client as per his requirement and as per his need. I cannot topify my ideology on him.
Yes.
And that's why all clients are happy.
So if I can ask, what kind of questionnaire is this? Because this is the first time some architects has mentioned questionnaire. So what kind of general question?
See, it starts from how many family members.
If you are designing a residential project.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many family members who are going to stay there, all age group, their liking. For like even in Surat, see, Surat culture is very different. Our Ahmedabad client is different, Baroda client is different. Surat, so many clients are making the house, and their what I can say, design brief is just बाजूवाड़ा करता सारो देखाव જોઈએ. That is their design brief. So in fact, to get that design brief, we have to do all this kind of questionnaires. See, Vaishali will elaborate.
Yes, first of all, the client comes to us, it is like, because we have to work hand in hand with the client, we try to understand their lifestyle, their way of living, their culture, their religion, their
of course.
children. Of course, they have the children of different age group, their hobbies, their likings. And we try to see that the client has to be comfortable enough with the new environment that we are going to design for them. And of course, we have to upgrade their lifestyle also. It is our moral responsibility. And, because of course, he has come to spend money, we have to give him the best which is suitable for him and his temperament. So that's how we try to judge when we meet frequently. We try to understand that, okay, this is what he would be liking eventually. So our design process starts there. We start sketching, and then we do a lot of 3D visualization also. And eventually, once we get to the same platform, they would also, we are open to suggestions. Of course, it's our responsibility to control the aesthetics. Of course, their need has to be satisfied. At the same time, it should be visually appealing space, which is enjoyable throughout. We would say the architecture and interior, it should be the major factor for deciding it should be timelessness.
Of course.
That it should be enjoyable for a longer period.
Of course. So this is like custom crafted client-based solution you offer, right? If I put it sum up in one line. So
No,
that
even for the detailed requirements also, like the kind of kitchen they want, whether it is like regular platform they want, or they want the sitting, low height sitting,
oh, okay.
and even the wardrobes, how much storage they need. So all such kind of how many uh, space required for the shoe storage, everything all detailed. Even the washing machine, whether they are using washing machine existing one or new one, or they want the front loaded, top loaded, everything. So on that basis, after that we visit the site, we take the site measurement, and then we sit together, we decide, we discuss on some concept. Mainly Vaishali is involved in designing part, so she work out the sketch, then on in sketch itself we discuss, and then we hand it over to our staff for the drafting.
Okay. So, see, it is very personalized expression when you design a house. But when you were mentioning a large scale project, right, which is for community living, you said around 12 tower project, right? It is for community. And when you say, when you're designing for a house or an individual family, it is a very limited requirement and as per their family, culture, religion, whatever you just mentioned. But when you're designing a community, we don't know who's going to occupy that house eventually. So what is your, what changes in that? You know, what is the difference between designing a community living and a residential project? If you can talk Vaishali first, because he said you are the one who started designing and then he involved himself. So you tell me.
See, when we are doing a community project or a larger scale projects, of course, the purpose of that particular building is very different.
Yes,
and there, some of the philosophies which we have to include, keeping in mind the maintenance, we have to maintain the harmony between the spaces that we have created. So there are other aspects goes when we talk about a larger scale projects
course.
rather than a individual choices.
Yes.
Right. And then when we come to the, say, a Vastu Luxuria project, that one of the project which we have done, which is where we're talking about the landscape, about the finishing items of that whole area. So there, the criterias are different. And we start looking at into the details which are repetitive, with the details which are more convenient. So that's how the design starts developing.
So mostly the maintenance-free building, mostly easy flow, mostly where people can get together. Because I saw that quickly when you showed me that brochure, I mean that book, I could see the spaces where people can come and sit together and swim together. And
yes.
So I think it is about public space, you know, for that community, but then public space. And we are lacking behind when we come to public spaces. You know, we all travel and we see abroad, and their gardens and their public spaces are so beautifully designed. And Surat being a huge city now, we don't see those public spaces around. So what is your take on that, and how do we see architects like you who are aware and a little sensitive around it? They would create their own communities living and they would create their own public space. But that is confined to that people who are occupying those buildings. But when it comes to a larger, like say larger user, like society by large, when I say like people who are living in this city, who probably cannot afford a very fancy building. So what are we doing for that, and what do you think we should be doing, and what is your take on public spaces in India, and especially Surat specific? The question is Surat specific, because I didn't see any space where I could see public gathering or they could sit together. I remember as a child when I used to come to Surat, there is a the road which goes to Dumas, I think.
Yes.
And there would be like a mela, you know, lot of food joints and lot of people eating there, and there would be a camel cart. And I remember very vividly as a child that the moment you get out of People Road, or there is some fair is happening there, and there is a lot of people, and there is some music program is happening in the corner, and some magician also would be there. That's my memory of Surat. And by the time you reach to the seashore, you know, it's beautiful, it's different. The journey itself is different. Then there was temple in the middle of the city where I think it's still there, but there was also a small garden where people used to sit outside footpath, inside the temple, courtyard and those.
Yeah.
So those are, I don't see that anymore. So what is your take on it?
See, Surat, of course, earlier time, it was a small city and it really has expanded quite a lot. Of course, because of the development that we have, it has also positive aspects and does have a negative aspect as well. I would say a city is always like a reflection of the people who stay there.
Okay.
It should be, people get connected to the city, they have that memory like you just explained, of the city that they travel to and then where they live also.
Yeah.
So they do carry those public spaces and the aesthetics of that public space into their mind, and it remains as a memory. So of course Surat, one of the aspect is that they are cool people, mojila, rangila, they would like, they can enjoy anywhere, even on the footpath. So, but design spaces would definitely give them a better way to enjoy.
Of course.
So people are working on it. There are good projects happening.
Okay.
There is a development on the, if you see Vesu Canal Road development, where nice joggers park and things like that are being created.
Okay.
Even Dumas, good art pieces have been installed, and it has been developed in a way now that the sea has gone far, but these spaces have been developed in a way that people can go there, enjoy, and so create memories for them. So eventually I'm saying that there are things happening.
So let's not lose hope. That's what you're saying.
But
there are
of
things
course-
happening. Even Gopi Talao has been developed in a nice way.
Is it? Okay.
Which is a place which was like not there actually.
Okay.
And it has been restored and developed,
Reconstructed.
and the surrounding has been beautifully done. So like
Things are happening.
Yes, it is happening, I would say.
You were saying something.
It's happening, and that Gopi Talao project was done by Angan Architects and I think S team together, and it has come out fantastically well.
Okay.
And even people are using. But
So if I go to Gopi Talao, I'll not be that disheartened, right?
yeah.
Yes.
But at the same time, compared to the size of the city, the open spaces are very less. Very less. If you go to Bangalore, then you can find the difference.
Yeah.
The green spaces versus the concrete.
Of
So I think Surat Corporation is very proactive. They have already planned for another 25 to 35 years. So I think definitely they are thinking, and they definitely will do something. And even our Deputy Commissioner is also an architect, Dharmesh Mistry.
Okay.
Definitely, I wish they should do something
Okay.
for the city.
So I'm
and
not
they
losing.
will.
I'm not being disheartened. That's, you are saying don't be disheartened. Go to Gopi Talao and feel good about it.
Yes.
Yes,
Of
So I
course,
think
the language has to be created, or we say that the traditional art could be thought of in a holistic way, so that whatever the developments or whatever the things that we create, it should follow some language.
yes, it should not be haphazard.
Haphazard,
Yes. So, so very beautifully put. You said you have to include what is lost. We should retain what is we are losing right now. And I don't know about the language part because I'm not a qualified architect, but I understand what you are trying to say. Where the intent, the intention should be there. That
Yes.
we should retain whatever we can as in this crazy globalization and crazy growth of the city, which is good economically, but of course. So as you said, pros and cons of everything. See, whenever we talk to architect, there are few things which few terms keep coming. Is sustainability, minimalistic, all those terms. They are very fancy terms. They have everybody has a different take on that. So Vijay, I'll start with you. What is your take on sustainability, minimalistic approach to design and architecture? or it is just there is nothing minimalistic. You have to. We don't believe in minimalistic. Gujaratis and Suratis we don't believe in minimalistic. Everything is loud. Everything is big and crazy. But what is your take on that?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. As a Gujarati, we are not minimalistic because whenever we go anywhere, even for the food, we used to take everything, khakra, thepla and everything. So we are not minimalistic. But of course, Gujarati people are traveling people. Like they used
They've
to
seen the
travel.
world,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. So, and of course, they're quite influenced with having influence with the out of India abroad project. And even that is, I think, a common mentality or Indian mentality is they foreign નું બધું સારું.
Copy karo.
હા, copy કરો.
So
See, they feel proud about it. So I think minimalistic, of course, a minimalistic approach is not bad, but if you can do a fusion with like a minimalistic approach in your design, in your interior, but at the same time, what we are doing contemporary, normally contemporary work, but always we used to see that it should be Indian touch. It should have Indian touch. So we use art there. We use local artisans work there. Even we develop and we design and develop certain
Installations, yeah.
installations. It's of course fusion, but ultimately you won't feel that this is imported house from somewhere else.
Vaishali, your take.
When it comes to sustainability, our majority, I would say, we try to follow all the passive aspects of sustainability.
Okay.
When we design as an architect, the basic fundamentals is like it has to be well ventilated. No space should be such where you actually need artificial light, nicely ventilated, and a space where it has to have a connection between them, being connected with people, and we should explore the spaces which we can enjoy the most, right? So sustainability in terms of materials as well as in terms of the passive features of
Passive features, yes.
we try to incorporate in our all the buildings. Even when it comes to interior, we try to be true to material, more often a natural material rather than a synthetic materials that we would try to incorporate. And of course, we have done one of the project recently, which is Savita Vadi. Vijay would like to elaborate more on that.
Savita Vadi.
Savita Vadi, that is located near Baroda. Our client, Mr. Y.S. Trivedi, and he's very knowledgeable person. He was working in L&T, and very clear-cut design brief. Being a Gujarati, he wanted a house of Chettinad style. And we visited Chettinad, and we brought all the columns, all the major materials, style, everything from Chettinad. And we designed the house, of course, with typical Indian culture, courtyard house, and all the materials, majority materials are local, either the recycled material.
Okay.
So it is not green certified project, but I can say it is 100% natural.
Okay. No use of synthetic material at all.
Yeah, no use of
I
synthetic
would love to
material.
see that house. Let's see if I can someday. So you talk about art. You said we do art installation. You also design art installations. So what is your take on art? First question. Or maybe I can ask what kind of art you like the most, and how do you see art as your projects? So if you can sum up this in one answer.
Mainly, we feel the art should be Indian
Okay.
and with Indian context, with local artisans, and we convince our client to use it. See, sometimes we convince with like प्रेम से convince कर लिए. Sometimes if they don't understand, then थोड़ा we just use our power also, authority also.
Yes.
But once we decide that we want to go for this much of art in this particular project, we decide the budget, or even we ask the client, we want this much budget for the art. And in Surat, of course, we are facing difficulties because Surat culture is like that. Surat is more influenced with the Mumbai. And even recently, few colleges of fine arts.
Yes, come on.
Recently, yeah. So it will take time to understand what is art and what is the value of art. But I think it will take some time, but after few years, we'll be able to come up with really
But
good.
I'm happy that you are doing your part. The
Yes.
people who are coming to your office, at least they are being exposed and aware about art. So I'm
Yes.
happy about it. And you are doing great work by doing that. Vaishali, your take on art. What kind of art you will appreciate, and why do you think art is important in a project?
We don't see our projects without art. So art is an integral part of the projects that we've designed, and it adds to a soul to the space, and it's really our identity also, to give a touch of a
Artistic touch to the space.
artistic touch to the space.
Perfect. So I'm very happy to hear this because I have closely worked with a lot of young artists, and I'm very happy to know that people like you who are key designers of, at such a big scale, and has this philosophy, or they have the belief system that you should use art in your project. And like artists, there are a lot of young designers, who are right now must be studying or getting out of college. And I would like you to say or give some message to them. And also, in between, I want to ask that, it's time of Instagram and Pinterest and globalization of internet has got us into make world a small village. So are you facing those problems that people come with the photograph that we need this kind of house, and then you have to retain your own identity, also convincing client at the same time, and also give what he wants? So do you think that's a bit challenging these days?
In fact, it is a big challenge.
Okay.
Big challenge, because nowadays when client is come up with lots of photographs, say we want this, we want this, we want this, but they doesn't know whether it will fit with their requirements, their decor. So in fact, me and Vaishali was discussing few months back what we are doing. Our half of the time and half of the energy is we are wasting in a day to convince the client that this is not for you. So that is a big challenge.
Okay.
And
You don't have option. I think
Option,
you
yeah.
have to listen to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, in time of Instagram and this new social media era, I think all the architects and designers are suffering from overly excited, overly aware clients, and then you have to tell them that this is not meant for you. It's like a doctor's job, right? That this medicine is good but not for you. I think you are giving the same medicine to your clients. So if you can say something for young designers, young architects who would like to have a practice like you, and maybe some message for them. Vaishali, you've been teacher and you also worked with the senior architects, so maybe you can say something on that.
Even Vijay has been teacher for
Okay. I'm
interior
sorry.
design
No.
college.
I thought you only teach.
So-
Okay. So maybe after you, he's going to say something.
So for young practitioners, I would say be true to yourself.
Okay.
First of all, you should have your own ideology for working, and when you are working, it should be an holistic approach to the whole design rather than a supermarket approach of picking up things from here and there.
Okay.
And
Very well said. Yeah.
yeah, it is a person has come to you, a client has come to you for a place where he would enjoy himself, and he's spending lot of money for that particular, maybe it's a dream house for him, So you have to be very sensitive while designing, and you have to have a place. Of course, you have to give your best as a designer,
Of
but
course.
don't get so much carried away with the social media, and you should go back to your design fundamentals and work accordingly.
Perfect. Vijay.
See, I can say this is why we like this line of architecture and interior designing, because this is the only profession where the client comes to you happily. In all other professions, the client goes to that professional
When they are in trouble.
when they are in trouble. So, and we are happy to work for upgradation of somebody's life.
Of course.
So, one thing is that this is one of the best profession. You come across with so many people, you learn from so many people. You work with laborers to the company's
consultants,
CEO.
yeah.
So you have you can get the exposure of all kind of people. You can improve yourself. So there are so many positive things about this profession. So don't focus only on the money. That is one thing. Give your best and feel what we are like. What we say to our client. Once they assigned us, then we used to say, now this is my project. Now this is our project. This is not your project. We will work as is if as
It's yours, clearly.
it's our project. So if you give that kind of work with complete dedication, then definitely success will be yours. And be patient, because this is profession. This is not 1 + 1 2, and you will earn within another 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So
I
be
thought you would
patient.
say marry your classmate and be successful.
There are. It's more difficult to work with.
Who's your friend and a wife, right?
Yeah, it is very difficult.
I thought he would say the key to my success or key and the advice to young designer is marry your classmate and just build a practice together.
Of course. Today we are successful because we are like support for each other.
Of course.
She is taking care of so many things, and my portfolio is in the same project. My portfolio is different. Her portfolio is different. She is mainly taking care of all creative part. I am taking care of all technical part.
Perfect.
So that way.
So I think made for each other in practice and in life. And thank you so much for your time, Vaishali. And it was wonderful talking to you. And I think the way you answered every question with such simplicity and humbleness, I think that's beautiful. And thank you so much once again. Thank you. Yes, please. You were saying something.
We too. I mean, you thanks.
Of course, we are also very much thankful to you, because we both are like very simple people.
No, I think
you made us quite comfortable. That's why we could able to deliver.
no, thank you so much. And I think we should do this more
We-
often.
And
We're done?
Thank you.
Okay, we are rolling.
the
Tell.
team.
One more thing I would like
Yeah.
to see. Even we are blessed with twins daughters, and they are also architects.
Okay, so future is already there. Okay. So the family of architects. So let's add last question before, and we'll do the thank you note. So you have 4 architects in the house. There are 4 thinking brains and 4 beating hearts. Hai na? When it comes, because architects are about creativity.
Yes.
So how do you manage to sit on a table and talk about design? Or you fight?
No, we fight. Definitely we fight. In fact, we fight every day.
Okay.
But we fight for the betterment of that project. So the end result is positive.
What are the name of your daughters?
Varisha and Vipasha. So
Okay.
we 4.
Oh, V4. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's how victory is ours. We
Okay.
can say we can combine and work. They are yet to join us
Okay.
as a professionals. Presently they are working in different firms.
Okay.
But once they join us, but definitely we
Looking forward to.
looking forward to
Yes.
work together in
Of
a
course.
better way.
So V for Vijay, V for
Vaishali.
Vaishali, and V for girls. I think I wish you all the best for future
Thank
endeavors,
you.
and wish all the best to your girls as well to have a great career like you people have. And thank you so much for giving this time and talk so candidly with us. Thank you so much, Vijay and Vaishali.
Even we are thankful to you, Ruby as well as Abir Pothi and
Thank you so
complete entire team of Abir Pothi. At the same time, we are very much thankful to Jaguar
Yes.
for providing this platform. And like you are connecting architects and the artist
Yes.
at very good platform.
Thank you.